Meta Connect Quest Pro is finally out. Let's talk about it. Yo guys, what is going on? This is Michael. I'm not going to wear this the whole time, so I'm just going to take this off now. Love this thing. The Quest Pro is out. Love you. Goodbye. All right, the Quest Pro. I've been waiting for this guy for a while now, and we finally have it out. The Meta Connect conference was out. I did attend it virtually. It was actually a lot of fun. That was the first time I was in Virtual Horizons, I think is what they called. And you go into a area. You have to create your avatar first, and then you go into an area, and then you go into another area, and then you log in, and then you finally get into a movie theater room with other people around watching a screen. This is what it looked like while I was inside.
The details, let's check in with Angela Chang, who leads our Quest product team. And since this is a big day, let's go somewhere a bit special.
Super cool.
This is the new Quest Pro home environment. When you put on your head,
having the sides around you open up while you're inside and everything's unveiled kind of that way. Super cool. Really cool event. First time I've ever done anything like that. I mean, obviously, I'm obviously in VR all the time, but it was the first time I've done like a live meeting like that. Really, really cool. But yeah, anyway, so let's go through it. Let's dissect the Connect a little bit, and we'll talk about the MetaQuest Pro. This is going to be a quick recap, a quick reaction to everything that we just saw. First, to get this out of the way, no, I'm not sponsored. It would be so cool if Meta sponsored me, but no, I'm not sponsored. So all these opinions are my own, and I am unbiased. Well, I'm unbiased except for my biases that I have toward what I'm reviewing. Anyway, yeah, so the Meta Quest Pro, the Meta Connect event just happened. Really, really cool. You guys got to see a little bit of that there. To quickly go over some of the stuff that they were talking about, they leaned really heavy into AR. They also leaned really heavily into business applications. So it seems like they were prepping everything for what it would be like in the business world. They, you know, really I feel like in Mark Zuckerberg's ideal world, real estate prices would just absolutely plummet because you can go everywhere virtually, right? If you don't need to go into work, why live in a place like San Francisco where you're spending, you know, $3,000 for a studio apartment? Why would you do that if you could just go to work virtually? So in that world, I feel like, you know, and I think it could be a reality. I think it's very possible that, you know, 10 years from now, a lot of the work is video commute, virtual reality commute. So yeah, I'm all in on that world. But yeah, so anyway, so they did some VR stuff. Some AR stuff rather. They also introduced some new games that are coming out. So I just picked the ones that I'm particularly interested in. There's obviously a lot of information came out during the event here. So I'm just picking and choosing the stuff that I liked and that I was excited about. So 11/3, November 3, we have the Iron Man game coming out. We have Among Us in VR, which I think would be really, really cool. We have the sequel to The Walking Dead. I played the first bit of The Walking Dead. It was really, really good. I've been meaning to get back into it, but there's other games that I've been playing as well, like Blades and Sorcery Nomad. Amazing game. If you guys haven't played that already, really cool. Looking forward to their full like campaign release that should be coming out at the end of this year, hopefully next year. And then a game that I haven't paid attention to before was Behemoth. It looked really, really cool. Kind of looks like an open world, could maybe Skyrim, Elder Scrolls or something like that. Would be really, really cool if we get something like that in. He also talked about the Active Pack, how people are using VR for fitness and for you know, getting in shape and stuff. Really cool application. I've been doing a little bit of that. That's kind of like Beat Saber, right? Beat Saber was the first one to blow up in that realm. Then you got Supernatural. So you have all these different applications for VR, and I think sports and fitness is actually a really good way to go. Granted, you make the screen a little bit, you know, has to be lighter, has to have longer battery life. It can't just jiggle around your head when you're doing it. Otherwise, you get neck strains. And so I think that is where probably the new Quest is going to be coming into, or not the Quest. It is the Quest Pro. He also talked about, you know, more about meetings and virtual space and working virtually. I work with a 3 desktop monitor setup now. I don't know if I'm going to transition to a VR. I think that would be very difficult for my type of work. Maybe it'll be complimentary. I don't know. But again, you know, you're sitting 8 hours at a desk. You're going to get some neck strain. But maybe not with the new Quest that's going to be coming out. And they did. They released the new Quest, and it looks really, really cool. It's a nice, sleek, black VR headset. Very different than the white one we have going on here. It is more sleek. You can see they took out the top strain. I guess you don't necessarily need to have it on here, but it definitely helps. I'd imagine it's a lot lighter. They said it was lighter. The screens are a million times better. I'm not going to go into all the different screens and pixel resolution, things like that. Suffice it to say, it's a lot better. They also introduced the concept of magnetic light blockers, which, you know, if you wanted to see peripherals, you could take out the light blockers on the sides, and if you didn't want to, if you want to be fully immersed, you can go ahead and pop them right in. And it's gonna narrow your view, or at least keep the light from the outside out. Moving on there, we got the 37% more pixels per square inch, 75% more contrast. It looks really good. The handles have the LED handles, or the LED handles are gone. They are now going to be replaced with no LED screens, and you're going to be able to move them around a lot better. They have tracking on them, cameras built into them, so you're going to be able to see the movement on them is going to be a lot more accurate and true to the original, your actual hand movements. Moving on, we got one thing I'm really excited about. Actually, they are including the charging dock in this new Quest. Well, for $1,500, you would think they would include a charging dock, and they did, so that's good. At least they're fulfilling that expectation. It's coming out on October 25th, and then they talked more about AR and using it for business application. That's what they really want. It seems like they're really leaning into the business application world of this. And yeah, so, you know, maybe it'll catch, maybe it probably won't, at least this early, but it could. Some early adopters, you can see Logitech, I think they're already doing it. Intel might be doing it. Some of the techie companies are probably going to get in on this. I don't know if it's going to work for your average conference meeting rooms, you know, with your some of your national chains, but, you know, it could. I don't know. That's going to be remaining to be seen here. They did announce their partnership with Microsoft, which is actually really, really cool because they have a very vast gaming cloud network. A lot of super popular game titles on Microsoft, on Xbox specifically. It really seems like Facebook is trying to position themselves so that they are the giant for when the inevitable Apple releases theirs. They're trying to position them. They've got Microsoft partnerships. They've got partnerships with a bunch of other large companies, including Zoom as well. So they're trying to gobble up all the tech companies and get partnerships with them so that they can have an established base when Apple comes out with their VR, because, you know, Apple takes forever on everything and it's going to be super polished, whereas Zuckerberg's approach is more, hey, let's put stuff out there, let's be first to market. This stuff is really cool. Yeah, we're gonna have some bugs, but we're gonna do some of that fixing and later on. Apple's gonna be super polished when they do come out. I mean, maybe, I don't know. My iPhone 14 has overheating problems, so maybe they're not as polished as they once were. But in any case, so they're teaming up with Microsoft, and they got the cloud gaming network going on. They said that you'd be able to do the 2D gaming, and then they're going to be working on bringing 3D gaming as well, which I would be very excited for. I know this isn't obviously Microsoft, but one of my favorite games of all time in this kind of realm is Phasmophobia. I have not played it on VR yet. I want to play it on VR. Please bring Phasmophobia to VR. Phasmophobia team. Please work with Meta to get that on the store. I really want to play that game in VR. It'd be so much fun. If you don't know what Phasmophobia is, it's basically paranormal activity. It's paranormal activity, but you're going in and it's cool. It's kind of like Among Us meets paranormal activity. Maybe that's the way to describe it. But in any case, I'll keep moving on here. They also showed more AR stuff with a Beat Saber AR. So you can see in the little picture there, you can overlay the blocks onto your local environment. Not sure why you would necessarily do that, but I mean, sure, it's cool. Why not? They also introduced better looking avatars and avatars with legs now. Apparently their prediction AI technology is good enough to show where legs are going to be with respect to your avatar. This is where they introduced their partnership with Zoom, and again, it seems like they're gobbling up, trying to get partnerships with all these tech companies before Apple comes out with their stuff. They're trying to get an established market base, and I think they do. I mean, they're first to market. They're doing really well. They also partnered with I believe it's Luxor, whoever owns Ray-Ban. They're trying to get AR glasses going on. They're also introducing a neuro interface with the wrist there. You can do some flicks on the wrist, and that's kind of gaming and whatnot. Now, all this stuff is prototype, and that's actually one thing I really like about the Facebook Meta Connect. They're not just showing their finished, final, polished products. They're showing what they're working on, and that's really cool. I think Apple could take a note from that, except for I don't know if Apple has a bunch that they're working on, like Facebook is. Facebook it's showing you what the future of technology is going to be as far as AR and VR. So it's really, really cool. I like that they do that. I like that they kind of set the path down the forward, and they're kind of trailblazing from the beginning. So anyway, really cool. Got stuff to look forward to. And then they are also working on 3D mapping the world around you. Now, this was another really interesting thing that they had been working on. It's a 3D mapping of objects and buildings and whatnot. In this instance, to help kind of navigate blind people or people that are hard of seeing through different areas. They partnered with one of the local colleges in order to do this. So they're mapping out roads and mapping out buildings so that people can get auditory directions that are specific to where they are precisely, not just GPS, but where they are in relation to the 3D world around them. We also got a cool little intro. Now, there are some apps that do this already, but he took his phone and he scanned a teddy bear, and he saw that teddy bear in the 3D environment, which is really cool. You can 3D image a teddy bear or a physical object with the phone. But not only that, you were able to 3D print a 3D photo an object, and then it would pop that object into a digital format with physics. So in this example, he was able to 3D scan a flower pot, a plant, and he was able to pick it up and throw it, and it turned into a 3D digital asset within the game or within the room that he was doing. Super duper cool. So if you have something that you really like, or like an art piece or something like that, you'd be able to 3D print it. Like, let's say you made a sculpture and you 3D mapped it, you could put it into the world, and I could see people turning this type of stuff into NFTs, right? You'd be able to take that and you'd be able to sell the likeness of it because it's all digitally mapped now, and it's an artistic creative art. So I see this moving into the NFT realm. They didn't talk about that, but I definitely see that being a huge application for it. They also started talking about, doing a 3D mapping of avatars, but not just general avatars, turning them into actual like realistic photo looking type of people. So on the left-hand side, the codec avatars, you'll be able to see someone who did the 3D mapping. And apparently this one took a very, very long time to render, but it looks really, really good. On the right-hand side, you'll see a map of a lady who did a quick scan of her face, and it took about 2 hours, they said, to be able to pop out the avatar into a very realistic photo-looking finish. So it looks really good. So it looks like we might be moving into the direction of fun cartoon avatars or realistic person avatars. So we'll see what the difference is. Apparently the research says that cartoon avatars are more easily digestible. It'd be weird if you're talking to a realistic real person but is not there, versus seeing the cartoon version and it's an avatar of that person and not the actual person. So there's going to be some psychological research going on here to see which one's going to outperform, but they're doing it anyway. And that's one of the things I really liked about this Facebook event, is that they're doing stuff. And I think it's really cool. They're taking chances and risks. So yeah, so we got the release date for the Quest. You can pre-order at the time of the event started, and you will get it on October 25th for $1,500. Now the question is, am I going to get one? Eventually, probably. I like it. I like my Quest 2 a lot. I like this one a lot. It's really, really cool. But there's been leaks for the Quest 3 already, and evidently it's not going to be as powerful as this one is, but it's going to be at a more reasonable price. It's going to come out next year potentially, and it's going to have a massive upgrade over the Quest 2. but you know what? I might just end up getting this anyway because I think it's really cool, and to see the adjustments and to see the screens work really, really well. Yeah, I might just end up getting it anyway. But yeah, so it's going to be coming out October 25th. I'll hopefully get it sometime around then. And yeah, I'll do, if I do end up getting it, I'll definitely do a review. Let me know what you guys think. Are you excited about the Quest Pro down below? Was it everything you hoped and dreamed? Are you gonna get it? Is it worth it to you? If you like the video, please like it down below as well. If you like the video, then like the video. Perfect. And comment, let me know, subscribe if you'd like. And anyway, we'll have a good rest of your day. And this was a really cool Connect Meta conference here, Meta Connect. Have a good day. See ya.